Welcome everyone. We will start today's session. And today's session, we are going to cover three things. One is the health tip, the wellness tip, which is alkaline water. Is it fact or fiction? We will then have a meditation session, and go through the scientific benefits of meditation. The question that we are going to ask in there is, are you stressed or tired? After the meditation session, we will have a short wisdom sharing session on silence. So today, first of all, we start our wellness quick tip. Alkaline water, is it fact or fiction? So if we look at our bodies, if you go back to our school times, we were taught about pH levels. In our body, we have acids and bases. The pH level is a scale from 0 to 14 to measure the level of acids and bases. If you are conscious and functioning around in general health, your pH level would be around 7.4. That is for general healthy people. If our pH level drops below 6.8 or rises above 7.8, it actually becomes incompatible with life and one dies. So there is this question of drinking alkaline water, which is supposed to help us not be acidic, but be more in the alkaline safety band. Alkaline water seems to be the newest trend in health. Is it really what fans claim it to be? Is it the cure-it-all remedy? The concept of alkaline water came from the fact that cancer cells cannot survive in an alkaline environment. The tissue surrounding the cancer cells is slightly acidic, so changing its surroundings should help, correct? Unfortunately, it is not that easy. Any significant increase or decrease could make you very sick and possibly cause death. In other words, no food or drink will significantly change the pH of your body. Even if you drink alkaline water with a pH of 8 or 9, the hydrochloric acid in the stomach will turn it to 7.4 before the blood absorbs it. Our blood is supposed to remain in a very limited range between 7.4 and 7.6 for us to have proper amounts of energy production and life-giving nutrient delivery to all our body's tissues. Most people are currently living in a slightly acidic blood level. Why is this? This is due to many stressors in our life. Terrible nutrition, chronic stress, and lack of activity. When our blood pH drops, it is a contributing factor to many chronic diseases. Our immune system can go out of control. We call these type of conditions autoimmune disorders. We can get chronic fatigue, poor digestion, brain fog, and many other horrible conditions that many of us have actually learned to accept as normal. However, our bodies have a fantastic method of helping us control and improve our pH levels. That method is breathing. When we exhale, we rid ourselves of CO2, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is mildly acidic. It is a waste product of the processing, that is metabolism of oxygen and nutrients, which all cells need, and as such is constantly produced by cells. It then passes from the cells into the blood. The blood carries carbon dioxide to the lungs where it is exhaled. As carbon dioxide accumulates in the blood, the pH of the blood decreases. That means it becomes acidic. When we inhale, we increase the levels of O2 or oxygen. By controlling our breath, we can very positively influence the pH of our blood. By adjusting the speed and depth of breathing, the brain and lungs are able to regulate the blood pH minute by minute. So one of the best breathing methods to increase the pH of our blood, remember, low pH is acidic, high pH is alkaline, is when we exhale for significantly longer than what we inhale. So, for example, we take a deep breath, use 4 seconds to fill our lungs completely, then attempt to exhale for 8 seconds. This decreases the amount of CO2 and will increase oxygen in our blood. When this happens, we will create a more alkaline environment, which will allow our bodies to heal and function more efficiently. This is done naturally without the need of alkaline water systems. So today's wellness tip is, when we inhale, let us make it a deep and full inhale. When we exhale, let it be a slow and long exhale. This is the key to wellness. I will now hand over to Vijay, who will give us the scientific benefits of meditation. There is one question before Vijay starts. Is there a pranayam technique to breathe as you describe? Yes, Anulom Vilom pranayam, where you breathe in through one nostril, you breathe out through the other nostril, but make it slower and longer, and then just repeat the whole cycle. So Anulom Vilom pranayam would be excellent. When we are doing certain activities where we are not actively using our mind, there are sort of physical activities. At that time, it will be difficult to do pranayam, but just deep breathing and slow and long exhale should easily be possible. And it has a lot of other benefits, which we are going to cover in this series. It will trigger the parasympathetic nerve. It will calm us down. It will improve our blood pressure, and anxiety will go away, etc. Oh, can you do one pranayam you mentioned? Sure. So basically, if you block the right nostril, breathe in through your left nostril, count to 4 or 5, and then exhale through the other nostril, the right one, and count up to 8 or 10. We'll start together. This would be one cycle. So, you could do 10, 15, 20 cycles, in the morning and in the evening, and it will be very beneficial. It will bring a lot more oxygen into the body. It will make the blood pH more alkaline. And at the same time, our stress levels will come down, anxiety levels will come down. Okay, I will hand over now to Vijay, who will go through the scientific benefits of meditation.
Namaste, everybody. Welcome to self-transformation session today on Saturday, the 26th. Today, we will see one of the benefits of meditation. Practicing meditation cures fatigue, anxiety, depression, and stress. First of all, let us break our current breathing pattern, because as we know that when we break the breathing pattern, those spying 175 neurons Dinesh mentioned about last time in the preboard complex in our brainstem inform our brain's control center that something has been changed. So our brain becomes alert to the new situation. And this breaks the flow, and we are ready to either react or to respond to the new situation. So to break the breathing pattern, take few deep breaths slowly. Now, as you can see in this chart, the leading causes of death as a percentage of all deaths in the United States in 1900 and in 1997. The bottom one is from 1900, where you can see the main causes of the death would be pneumonia, tuberculosis, and then diarrhea, heart disease, liver injuries. Cancer was only 3.7. In 1997, you can see the heart disease is 31.4%. Cancer was 23.3%, and then stroke, and then other COPD injuries, etc. Now, leading causes of death in perspective, according to NHS, you can see heart and circulatory disorders, and then cancer, and then respiratory disorders. These three are the main causes. And FADS, FADS, is a major cause of all or most of the diseases. Now, what is FADS? What is FADS? Fatigue, anxiety, depression, and stress. Fatigue, let's say first of all fatigue. 76% feel tired at work. 53% feel less productive. 44% have trouble focusing. This is because of the tiredness. Why do we feel tired? Second is anxiety. You can see in 2013, the reported cases of anxiety in UK was 8.2 million, which was nearly the 1/8 of the population. It's 14% of the population. In the USA, it was 18%. Depression. 350 million people worldwide suffer from depression. That's about 5% of the world's population. And these are the reported cases. Women are more likely to be diagnosed with depression than men. In the US, 16 million adults had at least one major depressive episode in 2012. And the fourth cause is stress. 12.5 million working days are lost due to work-related stress, depression, or anxiety in 2016 and 17. 44% are stressed because of workload, 14% because of lack of support, 13% because of violence, threats, or bullying. According to CDC and NHS and other medical journals and research and clinical trials and observations, all these diseases from acne to zoster are caused by fatigue, anxiety, depression, and stress. It includes diabetes, cancer, even jaundice, neck pain, obesity, even teeth grinding, sweating, hair loss, infertility, pH level increase. We just actually listened to what Dinesh said about the pH level. All these diseases are caused by fatigue, anxiety, depression, and stress. Experienced meditators, you can see they have more connectivity in the brain's regions of PCC, DACC, and DLPFC at baseline and during meditation. Now look at the central column for meditators. On baseline, they have more connectivity to these areas of the brain. While meditation, they also have more connectivity than those who do not meditate. On your right-hand side, you can see the chart there. The connectivity in meditators are all positive. In the control subjects who did not meditate, it was negative. Now, what are these regions of the brain? Let us see one by one. DACC is dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, responsible for reward, cognition, emotion, motivation, impulse control, empathy, decision-making, and motor control. Those who meditate, they have more healthy connectivity in this area, which is responsible for all these important functions. DLPFC or DPFC, dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. It undergoes a prolonged period of maturation which lasts until adulthood, until the age of 28 to be precise, when our brain is fully developed. implicated in higher cognitive functions such as switching attention, working memory, maintaining abstract rules, and inhibiting inappropriate responses. We can see all these are very much mature functions. Those who meditate, the connectivity in this area of the brain is more powerful than the others. PCC, which is posterior cingulate cortex, that processes emotions, regulates behavior, and regulates autonomic motor function. And the last one is MPFC, medial prefrontal cortex, responsible for goal-directed behavior. All these areas of the brain are more connected, and in meditators' brain, they have more healthy connectivity compared to others. And because of this, those who meditate, they have less fatigue, less anxiety, less depression, and less stress. So what is meditation? Focusing on a singular point reduces fatigue, anxiety, depression, and stress. It means to be in the present, to be in here and in now, and focusing on a singular point. That is meditation. Meditation reduces fatigue, anxiety, depressions, and stress. And as we have seen last time, it trains 175 neurons in pre-board C in brainstem to adapt the watch and wait policy. Deactivates two genetic markers, CDH9 and DBX1. Teaches to respond and not to react, and controls the release of hormones. Meditation is not a religious practice. It's all about to seize that moment. It's all about you. It's all about you to be in here and in now. No past impressions and no future anxieties. Just the present. Because you only live in the present. The past has gone, and the future only arrives as the present. To be in the present is called meditation. You have 1,440 minutes a day. We only need to spare 10 minutes a day to tune with ourselves, which biologically change the gray matter in 8 weeks, according to the study and according to research we have seen last time. You can do this anywhere and anytime. Now let us practice for about 10 minutes. As you know that either sit or lie in a comfortable position, close your eyes and interlock your fingers. You can focus on any singular point, on the center of your forehead or on any fingertip or on your nostrils. Focusing on your on breaths would be easier to start with. Focus your mind at your nostrils when you breathe in and breathe out. Do not roll your eyeballs towards nostrils, otherwise it will give you a headache. Keep observing your breaths going in and coming out at your nostrils. If your mind goes somewhere else, bring it back to you. Bring it back to your nostrils to observe your breaths. Do not try to breathe deep, just breathe naturally. your breathing will automatically slow down. Keep observing your breaths. Now we will practice this for about 10 minutes. left, and 8, 6, 4, 2, please slowly come out from meditation. Our next topic is on silence. Now Dinesh will explain about the silence.
Vijay, there are a couple of questions on meditation. So if you could take one. The first question is, I try to meditate, but my mind gets distracted. So will I still be reducing the feds that you mentioned in your presentation?
Yes, definitely, because when we try something new and our mind and body will not properly accept any new things immediately. But gradually, as we practice deep and deep, it does make the difference. Because when we actually try to concentrate on any singular point, then initially it's difficult. But afterwards, even if you achieve for 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then your mind goes somewhere else, we still have the benefit from those 3, 4, or 5 minutes. And as we increase the timing about meditation, then definitely it helps to reduce fatigue, anxiety, depression, and stress.
Here's another question. Today, as we meditated, I felt my breath becoming deeper and deeper. This felt a relaxed type of breathing. And what Dinesh explained was changing the breath and the ratio in and out. Are the benefits the same? In deep breathing, do I also balance the acid alkaline ratio?
Definitely, there's no doubt about that, because as we meditate, what happens? Your breathing will automatically slow down. There's no other technique. It's not about if you are meditating on, say, for example, on an idol or on a black spot, or keeping your attention at your nostrils. They all are external devices or equipments or external elements there. They do not help. But because your mind is being focused on singular point, your breathing automatically slows down. Initially, because we do not know how to breathe deep from our abdomen, that's why this 2, 4, or 8 seconds rule or practice is very important. But afterwards, you will not have to count those seconds. It will happen automatically. There was one more question from Minesh. Dinesh Bhai will actually answer that. It says, what happens when you are in pain? How should you meditate to help oneself?
So when we are in pain, obviously, our mind is focused on the pain, but experience shows that if you even try and meditate even in that state, the pain will actually lessen and the impact of the pain becomes very, very minimal. So to practice meditation is the most important thing. And what actually happens is we are in tune with the cosmic energy, and there is more energy flow in the body, and the symptoms of the pain actually come down. I will now share my screen, and we will go to the last wisdom sharing session now. And the topic of the session is silence. So silence is bliss. Silence is peace. And hence, silence is the self. And this is a quote from Ramana Maharshi. Once there was a farmer, and he had grown old. He had been farming all his life. He had a very precious watch that he used to wear. And once working in the barn, he somehow or the other lost that watch. It slipped off his hand and he lost it in the barn itself. He got because he was so emotionally attached to the watch, he became quite depressed. He started looking for the watch everywhere in the barn, but he could not find it. Then he went out and he saw quite a few children playing about. And he thought maybe the children could find it for him. So he called all the children and said, if you find this watch for me, I will give you a good prize. So the children, excited to get something in return, went into the barn and tried looking for the watch. But they continued looking for it half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. They couldn't find it. And then they also got fed up. They left and they told the farmer, we cannot find the watch. However, there was one small child who said, farmer, can I give it one more go? The farmer, obviously wanting his clock, his watch back, said, yes, child, you go in and you try and find it for me. The farmer closed the door of the barn, and after 7-8 minutes, the child came out with the watch in his hand. And the farmer was very pleased, but he said, all of us tried to look for the watch, but we couldn't find it. So what did you do differently to find the watch? The boy replied, I just sat there listening to the ticking of the watch. In silence, it was much easier to listen to it and direct the search in the direction of the sound. All of us need to learn to be silent. Silent, obviously, verbally, but more importantly, in our mind, there are a lot of thoughts, a lot of clutter that's all going on all the time. By meditation, we will learn to become silent. And when we learn to become silent, we will be able to hear the ticking sound of our soul, of our self, of consciousness. All major religions talk about silence and its benefits. What does Osho tell us? Osho says, sound is our mind. Sound is our mind. Silence is our being. In your silence, when there are no words, no language, nobody else is present, you are getting in tune with existence. Look at the health benefits of silence. An experiment was performed. A 2-minute period of silence, just 2-minute period of silence after listening to music significantly reduced subjects' heart rate and blood pressure. Even when compared to slow, relaxing music, silence resulted in greater decrease in these important measures of heart health. In a nutshell, observing silence helps with lowering blood pressure, improving concentration and focus, stimulating brain growth, reducing cortisol. Silence promotes self-control, helps conserve energy, brings about peace of mind, and fosters purity. So what does Mother Teresa tell us? She says, we need to find God, and he cannot be found in noise and restlessness. God is the friend of silence. See how nature, trees, flowers, grass grow in silence. See the stars, the moon, and the sun, how they move in silence. We need silence to be able to touch souls. So how do you practice Maun, silence? Set aside some time, half an hour, 2 hours every day, in the morning, afternoon, or evening, or maybe a few more hours one day a week, where we don't talk, where we don't get connected to social media or anything digital. The other type of silence which we need in today's highly connected digital world is do a digital detox, maybe 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. Every day. So there were some students in a meditation school, a Tendai school in Japan, and 4 of them decided to observe silence for 7 days. On the first day, they were all silent. Their meditation began auspiciously. However, when night came and the oil lamps were growing dim, one of the pupils could not contain himself and said to the servant, "Fix those lamps." The second student was surprised to hear and told the first one, "We are not supposed to say a word." The third one got quite excited. He said, "You two are stupid. Why did you talk?" And the fourth one couldn't contain the fact that he hasn't talked. So he said, "I am the only one who hasn't talked." So remaining silent is a discipline, is an art. So what does Rumi tell us about silence? He says, a little while alone in your room will prove more valuable than anything else that could ever be given to you. This silence, this moment, every moment, if it's genuinely inside you, brings what you need. There is nothing to believe. Only when I stopped believing in myself did I come into this beauty. Sit quietly and listen for a voice that will say, be more silent, die and be quiet. Quietness is the surest sign that you have died. Your old life was a frantic running from silence. So Rumi tells us, live in silence. So in conclusion, a living thought, great rivers flow silently and small streams make all the noise. What do you want to be? The big river or the little stream? Thank you, everyone. So there is a question. Sometimes I wake up at night and can't get back to sleep. My mind wondering makes me anxious about the future. Past also comes back. So how do I silence my mind? Vijay, would you like to answer that question?
This is the real life story of everybody. We wake up in the night and the past memories just flow back, and you're always worried about their future. And that's the actually key, past and future. If we realize that future always comes as the present, and that does not mean that we don't need to plan anything for the future. It's about the anxiety. Those are two different things. If you plan something for tomorrow, and if you worry about tomorrow, both are different things. If we understand that the future will only come as the present, that's the first thing. Second thing, when we actually find that our mind is wandering around and does not become silent or at peace, what shall we do? It depends what you want to do. Some people actually take solace in devotion, and some people just observe their breaths. Some people would think that whatever is going to happen will happen. So they believe in the principle of karma. There are so many different techniques, but the best one, or one of the best, I would say, one of the best ones would be just observe your breathing. And by doing so, all the hormones which have been secreted and actually makes you worried or anxious, they will calm down. Ashtavakra was the rishi of ancient times. He just actually said one simple thing: accept whatever is happening, whatever will be happening, and whatever had happened. Accept them, because all the happenings in our life are obliged to our destiny. Some people would say this is just a philosophy or something about religion, but it is not. Because we cannot change things. We believe that we can change things, but we cannot change anything. Whatever is going to happen will happen. And whatever the universe has decided, you can call it God or the Absolute or the Brahma or the universe, whatever you want to label it, it will happen. Still, by observing, by witnessing the situation, by witnessing the present moment, physically, our body, our mind calms down. And after that, we will be able to see the picture or situation with clear mind. So even if you do not believe in religion or God or anything else, just by witnessing the moment, just by observing our breaths, the hormones in our body will settle down. And by that, we will be able to see with clarity about the future situation or about the past memories.
Is a final question. Kindly compare and contrast meditation and silence.
Good for you, Dinesh.
Okay, I take it. So silence, if we look at just the physical silence, that obviously will just help us in conserving sort of energy, just help us on the path of meditation. Mental silence is what is achieved through meditation. So it is observing our breath, or observing our thoughts. Just becoming an observer is actually meditation. And the benefits of meditation are just numerous, including and not limited to physical health, to mental health. And as all the spiritual masters who have walked on this path say that self-realization or enlightenment is also achieved by meditation. Meditation does not necessarily mean just sitting for 10 minutes or an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. Meditation is all about becoming aware, being in the present. And initially the 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, or half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening will help us. However, slowly we need to develop the habit of being in the present, being mindful, being, observing our thoughts, our breath in all our activities. And that is what helps becoming enlightened. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. These sessions are going to be held every week on a Saturday, UK time, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you do like and enjoy and find these sessions informative and useful, please do join and feel free to send and forward the invite to your friends and family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.